Hey y'all, it's Gina and welcome back to another video in the Curly Hair Care for Beginners playlist. I'm going to be going over how to know when you need to deep condition your hair, how often you should deep condition your hair based on your hair type, and step by step on how I do my routine. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is my before shot and you can tell that my hair is very frizzy and dry. I can tell that I need to deep condition my hair when it starts to feel very tangled, the ends start to feel dry, I start to get a lot of knots underneath and on the ends, and it just doesn't want to cooperate. Whenever you're really having a hard time styling your hair, no matter how much product you add or how much cream you add, it just continues to look frizzy, then it's definitely time to deep condition. So in terms of how often it's good to deep condition your hair, I personally like doing once a week, so I usually do it on the weekend when I have more time because it does take a few extra steps, and letting the deep condition sit and stuff takes some more time, so I can't usually do that if I have to be somewhere quickly like for work. But it really all depends on your hair. If you find that your hair looks fine and it feels very moisturized, then you might not need to deep condition. So you really need to pay attention to your hair, give your hair a good feel and give it a good look and see what you feel like that you need. But if your hair is pretty dry, then I would recommend definitely doing it once a week, no matter what your curl type is. This routine and these tips apply to any type of curl, whether if you have wavy or very coily hair. I did not used to be as consistent with deep conditioning my hair. I used to just do it every now and then, like maybe once a month. And since I started doing it consistently every single week, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair. But everyone's hair loses moisture and retains moisture differently. And especially, like I said, depending on what phase you are in the transitioning process. If your hair is totally healthy, then you could probably go more than a week. But if your hair is damaged and you're in that transition phase, you're gonna need to do it a lot more frequently. So now let's get into the routine that I like to do. And I want to break this down in very simplified steps because a lot of times it can be overwhelming when you're watching so many videos. And this series is meant to really educate you and provide a helpful guide if you're getting started with caring for your curls, because I know it can be really overwhelming and complicated, especially if you are not used to caring for your naturally curly hair. So the first thing I'm going to do is obviously wash my hair. Now, if you didn't see my previous video in this series, it was all about how to wash curly hair. I highly recommend checking that out. You can pause this video, go watch that, or you can check it out afterwards, but it breaks it down step by step on how I shampoo and condition my hair, and I also go over how I co-wash my hair on days that I don't want to use a shampoo, and I talk about the differences and stuff. So that is very helpful. I did that exact same routine, but the only thing I did different today when I deep conditioned is I skipped the conditioner. So I just shampooed my hair using that same shampoo. I detangled first, then shampooed, and kind of detangled a little bit more with my hands. And then now we're at the point where I have towel dried my hair a little bit. I'm using my hair repair towel. This is another one of my biggest tips in all of these videos that I'm going to be talking about, is to not use a regular bath towel. It causes so much frizz, it pulls on your hair, causes breakage. So I highly recommend a cotton towel like this one from Hair Repair. So for today, I decided to go with one of my favorite all-around great deep conditioners from DevaCurl. This is their Melt into Moisture Matcha Butter Conditioning Mask. This I recommend to everyone because it is just so good. You can get a smaller size if you want to try it out first, if you don't want to purchase the full size, but I highly recommend this. There are some great options from the drugstore though. I will talk about some that I recommend at the end of this video, but for today I'm going to use this. This is just a great option for me whenever I need to add a lot of moisture to my hair and I don't find that I get too much moisture. This is 100% sulfate, paraben, and silicone free, so it fits into the curly girl method. I have a video on that. I'll link that also down below. It's part of the series on I break down what the curly girl method is for beginners. So I like to section off my hair when I apply my deep conditioner just to make sure that I get every single strand, because if you're just applying it straight on your hair, sometimes you can't get, up on the bottom layers. So I'm just sectioning it off and clipping up the different sections. And when I apply it, I actually like to comb it through with my Denman brush. So you might have noticed me using the Denman brush a lot more in videos recently, and there is a thing about training your curls. I've heard that this is like a theory to where if you use something like a Denman brush to actually create ringlets, or if you finger twirl your hair, that over time you can actually create tighter ringlets on your hair, especially if you're transitioning and your curls have a hard time shrinking back up. And for me, that's like the lighter pieces in the front. So I have found that this actually helps. Even though I'm gonna rinse this out and style my hair afterwards, so I'm gonna lose those ringlets that I just created, I think just using this brush with a deep conditioner just helps better distribute the product, and I'm helping create those ringlets, hopefully to where it starts to create a tighter curl pattern. So I'm just gradually working through different sections, and I'm also going to be wetting my hair. I usually spray my hair with a spray bottle because my hair dries really fast, and you obviously want to apply this to damp hair. So after I'm done applying the deep conditioner all over, I just like to twist my hair up, and you want to apply a plastic cap like this. These I get on Amazon. I've got a really big pack for pretty cheap, and I'm gonna be putting my hair up in this. If you don't have one of these, you can just try a plastic like grocery bag. You could put a Ziploc bag over your head, anything that's gonna help hold the heat of your head in. You don't have to use heat when you deep condition, but I highly recommend it. I have found that it makes a big difference in my hair, depending on your hair's porosity. That's another video that I need to do in this series. But depending on your hair's structure, it can either take in or retain moisture differently. Some people have trouble getting moisture to penetrate through their hair. Some people don't have trouble with that. But no matter what type of porosity you have, adding heat to your deep conditioning routine can really make a big difference. So I'm gonna be using my Hot Head from Thermal Hair Care. This is a heat cap that you pop in the microwave and you heat it up and wear it like for 20 or 30 minutes while you're deep conditioning. You don't have to have this. I just want you guys to start deep conditioning your hair. So use whatever you have. You don't have to use heat. I've also seen people like put their hair up in a plastic bag, or even without plastic, just kind of pinning your hair up and taking your blow dryer and just warming it up will do the trick too, but this is just a lot easier and more convenient. I have a full video that I did on how to use this and my before and after results, so I will link that for you down below, as well as where you can get this cap. So after I let that sit about 20 to 30 minutes, you can leave it on as long as you want. Some people sleep in their deep conditioner, but I don't personally like to do that because I don't want to get my pillow all wet. You can wear it as long as you want, but I would recommend at least doing 20 minutes. If you don't have a lot of time though and you're in a hurry, another trick you can do is just use a deep conditioner in place of your regular conditioner in the shower. So when you're washing your hair, you shampoo it, wring out some of the water, and just apply some deep conditioner and let it sit while you wash your body or shave or whatever, and then rinse it out. You can totally do a quick 5-minute one, whatever you have time for, but I recommend every now and then definitely doing a longer treatment so it sits on your hair and really soaks into the hair strands better. So after I let it sit for about 30 minutes, now I'm gonna take my hair down and I'm going to rinse my hair under cold water. I highly recommend rinsing in cool or cold water because it helps seal in the cuticle, locks in that moisture that you just applied to your hair, and it helps so much with shine and with frizz. But if you don't have issues with that, just rinse it out and then you're good to go to start styling your hair. So I'm not going to cover how I style in this video. It would get too long. That's going to be another video. I'm going to cover tons of different ways of actually applying styling products and drying your hair and stuff to get different results depending on what you like. So look out for that very soon. I have another video that I did called the Ultimate Deep Conditioning Routine, and I show you how you can do a scalp massage, a deep conditioner, a tea rinse, all the things. I'll link that for you down below as well. So real quick, I wanted to talk about some of the other deep conditioners that I love, but I don't want to go into too many, so I'll have more information on the blog post that goes with this video if you want some more recommendations. This one is also from DevaCurl. This is their Deep Sea Repair Seaweed Strengthening Mask. This one does have protein in it, so this is the one that I like to alternate with. I probably do this one about once a month, and then the Melt Into Moisture I'll do more frequently. But if I find that my curls are really looking limp, if they're very dry, if I find that I don't have very good definition, then I use this. So if your hair is lacking definition, if it's really just fuzzy and puffy, then I definitely recommend trying this. There's some other protein masks and stuff from the drugstore. I'll be sure to list out some other recommendations on the blog post that goes with this video. And then this is another one that I recently have been trying out from the Main Choice, which is a brand available at the drugstore. This I think you can get at Sally's too. This is the Peach Black Tea and Vitamin Fusion Anti-Shedding and Intense Volume Therapy Mask. This is actually infused with biotin, vitamins A, B, C, and D. So you can find this at Sally's. It's a really great mask. I did a full routine and review on the Peach Black Tea and Vitamin Fusion collection, so I'll also link that for you down below. But this is a more affordable option, and I did really like my results from this. You might have heard about the difference between having too much protein or too much moisture in your hair. There is a difference between the two, and you can use products either that contain protein or moisture to help balance out your hair. I might do another video on that very soon, but I know there's lots of helpful videos on that on YouTube, so you can just look it up. But my go-to is usually just one that is for adding moisture to the hair, and I can use that anytime without having trouble. If your curls tend to feel mushy and limp, then you might have too much moisture. I don't normally find that my hair gets too moisturized. I personally feel like I need a lot of moisture, and it's also really going to depend on what stage your hair is at if you are in the middle of transitioning. So I'm still kind of in that transitioning phase where I stopped coloring my hair. I've really tried to be better about using heat on it. I don't straighten my hair anymore or anything, but I'm really trying to consciously take a lot better care of my curls. And so I'm still in those beginning stages of the first couple years. So my hair actually needs a lot of protein and a lot of moisture because I do have damage from some highlighted pieces. If you have color treated hair or bleached hair, you usually need a lot of protein added to your hair to help repair. So there's a lot of ways to tell that your hair needs deep conditioning, but pretty much if it feels dry, then you need to deep condition, but you don't want to be using too much protein, so you want to be careful in your deep conditioners. If any of them do contain protein, to not use them too much. Some people are protein sensitive, but like I said, that's a whole nother video on the difference between protein and moisture. So that is it for my full deep conditioning routine. I hope that this made sense to you. If you have any questions related to how to deep condition your curls or anything about curly hair, if you're just getting started, leave them in the comments down below. I'll be sure to reply to every single one of you and share with you some of my tips and tricks. And the series will be linked down below as well as in the cards here. If you want to watch the videos in the series, I go over basic steps for caring for your naturally curly hair. And as always, leave any video requests down below for any future videos as part of this series. I'll also link you to all the products that I mentioned today on that blog post. That will be the first link in the description box down below. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have not subscribed yet, I would love for you to subscribe and join my YouTube family. I usually post weekly. I post about everyday makeup, really easy to follow tutorials, as well as curly hair care videos for my 3B Fine curly hair and some home and organization type videos that I've posted recently. So I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye everyone.